As Brent mentioned, my name is Mike Wagner. I'm the president of White Rabbit Group. And tonight what we're going to do is take a look at three basic subjects. What we're going to try to do is combine our thinking about leadership, which we all know is fairly important. Seems to be that leaders are how things get done. And then we're going to take a look at outcomes, and we're going to throw in creativity. We're going to bring those three together and see what that intersection looks like. And part of this is going to be presentational. Some of it's going to be some of your experience as well. And so I'm going to ask you to participate later on and have some fun with it. 3 years ago, I went to a bank. And it's my bank. It's a bank I've been with for 18 years. And I go in, and I had just started this business, the White Rabbit Group. And as you start new businesses, there's this whole thing about cash flow that starts to show up. And it can be an issue. Some of you get regular paychecks, but when you start a new business, it doesn't always work quite exactly that way. And so I was starting up this new business, and I come running in one day, and I had a check. I actually had money, which is great. And I said, I need this to be deposited in my account immediately, because I got this automatic withdrawal thing happening, and then there's this disconnect between no funds. And so I'm saying, I need this to go in to my account immediately. And the teller that I met at my bank, she looked at me, she said, I can't help you. It takes 24 hours for checks to clear. So for 24 hours, there won't be any funds in your account. And that just hit me as like, so I started a lobby with her. And I'm trying to use my persuasive abilities. And so I'm saying, I've been banking here for 18 years. I'm a loyal customer. Even though your name has changed 6 times, it's been the same bank that I've been going to. That's what I've been doing, And I just couldn't get her to help me. And then one of the tellers next to her steps up because she's been listening to this conversation. And she says, I can help him. And they start arguing with each other in front of me. No, you can't. Yes, I can. No, you can't. It takes 24 hours. Yes, I can. And then she would say, IT set it up that way. It can't be done. And they went back and forth and back and forth. And finally I said, hey, tell you what, let's let her give a shot. Let's see if she can help me. And so here's what she said. I know how to help you. Because that is absolutely true. Checks that are deposited takes 24 hours for them to clear and show up in your account. However, what we can do is cash your check, treat it as if it were cash, and deposit it directly into your account. And all cash deposits are immediately available. Problem solved. Problem solved. Now, to me, that was an interesting moment because it highlights what we're going to talk about tonight. We're going to talk about outcomes. Here was an opportunity to either have a wonderful moment of truth for that brand, that bank's brand, or it was going to be an unhappy moment of truth for that bank's brand. And so it was one of those outcomes where, who knew what was going to happen? It was literally in that defining moment that a brand was going to be enlarged and nurtured or is going to be destroyed and hurt. The other thing that was interesting is we had 2 employees who I think were very competent people who knew how processes and policies and procedures worked. They understood what was supposed to happen. But one person said, it doesn't matter, we have to obey the rules. And the other person said, let's get creative. And to me, that is the basis for bringing leadership, outcomes, and creativity together, is creating marvelous, thrilling, unexpected outcomes in an asymmetrical, unpredictable marketplace. How do you get that to happen all the time? How do you get that to be anything but dumb luck? Here's some of the things that people come up with as we work with them. The right answer. That's a huge barrier to creativity. What's the right answer? What's the one right answer? The answer is there's more than one right answer. There's a second answer, a third answer, a fourth right answer. And so what we're going to ask you to do is we want you to unleash the potential for people to come up with a second right answer, a third right answer. Nothing more dangerous than an organization or business where people believe there's only one right answer. The right answer is it won't clear for 24 hours. The second right answer is let's pretend it's cash and deposit it anyhow. That's what we're after. The power of a second right answer, I wish we had more time. We will someday talk a little bit more about how to unleash your creativity. The second right answers is a real powerful thing to work with. There was a man named Nolan Bushnell. And Nolan Bushnell sat down and he asked some questions. And one of the questions he asked is, what are TVs for? TVs are for watching TV shows. Okay, one right answer. What else? And he wrote, well, TVs are like plant stands for my African violets. Okay, second right answer. But Bushnell kept pursuing this multiple right answer, and he came up with this answer. TVs are for playing games. And he created the first video game called Pong. Very powerful to begin to do that. And so this is a tremendous barrier, though, because our focus is on how am I supposed to do this? Application works this way. As I mentioned, I could tell Brent what to do. All right? And his investment in that is I'm just being told what to do. But what you want is people in the moment creating solutions or working on a solution that they themselves own. I'm going to introduce you to a way of getting application with your team that we call Get Your Butt Fired. All right? And that's what we're going to do for the balance of our lesson tonight. And Get Your Butt Fired works this way. Here are the steps. You can do this at home. You can do this with your Sunday school class. You can do this any place you want. You can do this with accounting, maybe not with actuarials. But other than that, I think you can do it almost anywhere, okay? You can get Sackers together at a grocery. It doesn't matter. You can get them all together. Here's the steps on Get Your Butt Fired. First step in Get Your Butt Fired is having done your observation and interpretation, frame up a challenge. You will be given a challenge. This is the outcome we're after. Let's get a meaningful, powerfully thought through challenge. So that'll be first step. Now, here's where you get yourself fired. The next thing to do is to take a challenge that is compelling and ask people to come up with 6 to 10 wacky, get yourself fired ideas. That is, get people out of their norms and imagine new ways of doing things. And what we're going to ask you to do is to come up with ways that if you were to suggest them in a meeting, you would be fired.